Yeah.
Hi, Yaya. Hi, Jenny. Linda. LB Raiders. How are y'all doing?
Let me share. Hold it. Let me share.
Well, while we were waiting for at 37 Cindy, hello. While we were waiting for the phone to charge, Ophelia went outside because tomorrow's trash day. And she was seeing that some of her stuff was getting water damage and just sun damage and stuff. But she found her degree. One of the degrees is right here. For all those doubters, check it out. Ophelia's got one degree right here. Hi, Anna. And the other degree really got damaged, but hey, we'll show it anyways. All water damage, sun damage, and everything. Here's Ophelia's other degree that got damaged outside. So she does have 2 degrees that she found. Um, I don't have any. So let's just get that one straight. And then I wrote a couple of little notes here because I wanted to tell you all that I don't know what crawled up some of the South Texas influencers' butts, but on Tuesday morning I did a live show, and I was sitting on my porch, and I was telling everybody I only had one kid, but if you have children, you're not with your children all day. They go to school. Advise them to be aware of what's going on at the school. Advise the kids of what's going on, to be aware of what's going on at the school. And I had mentioned that a junior high child had gone to school with a gun. Well, it wasn't a junior high kid. It was an 8-year-old child in Texas City, and one of my friends had told me about it. And the article is in the newspaper, and the gun was loaded. You know, I didn't know that people in South Texas had anything similar to that going on in their lives, nor do I care. But this is the article. Just so people don't think that and get fantasies that I'm lying or that I'm talking about them. If anything that you hear on this channel resembles anything in your life, it's mere coincidence. It's if I start talking about something that somebody told me that happened in a town that I lived 20 years, and I couldn't sleep Monday night because I kept thinking, these kids, what's going on. And I did a show about it, and they start getting mad and saying that I'm talking about their children. I'm not talking about anybody's children, especially not anybody here in South Texas. The story's there. Google it. It happened in Texas City on Monday. A child, an 8-year-old, went with a loaded gun to school. I happened to talk about it on Tuesday, and they were all like, bees that a hive had got smoke on, and they were all over the place saying that I was talking about people here and I wasn't. Okay? Yes, Tina. The child was 8 years old and got a hold of a loaded gun and went to school with it. That happened in Texas City on Monday this year, November 2025. You can Google it and it'll come up. But these people are all up in the air, saying that I'm talking about their kids. I'm not talking about anybody's kids. I didn't even mention the kid's name because I don't know who the kid was. It is sad. It's sad, Annette. It's sad because it makes you wonder how safe the other children are in a household where an 8-year-old can get a hold of a gun. Well, I didn't, I was just sitting on my porch talking and telling people, tell your children to be aware. And, people that don't live through these type of things don't know what the hell they're going through. And it doesn't matter how many live shooting things they make you go through at a job. Unless you're there actually living the moment like I did when a man went to shoot his wife in a venture store in Texas City, and I pulled my daughter down and 2 other kids down. That floor was not far enough for me to pull those 3 kids down when I heard that shotgun. It wasn't a shotgun. It was a shot from a gun. Unless you're living through that kind of stuff, you can talk all the smack you want. I have lived through somebody trying to shoot somebody in a store with me and my child the day before school started, and the store was full of children, and I only could pull my child and 2 other children down to the floor. So, me sitting on my porch telling you, hey, tell your kids to always be aware of what's going on around them at the school. Because you're not with them all day. You're not. Those 8 hours they go to school, they're not on your time. They're on the teacher's time. So that happened on Monday, and I was talking about it on Tuesday, and these people are all up in the air about it. Well, I don't care. I wasn't talking about anybody over here. I don't have time to talk about these people too much, but today I'm making time. Because RJ already went to Hidalgo County to make a complaint. Tomorrow RJ will be going to Willacy County here, Raymondville, to make another complaint, and from Willacy County she will be going to Cameron County, Harlingen, to make another complaint about people that keep trying to bring RJ in. RJ has not been in the scenes. 3 weeks ago we did a show at my house because we happened to get together and we did a show, but that didn't have nothing to do. We were talking about dating over 50, it didn't have nothing to do with anything that anybody was doing or anything. So RJ is not involved, has not been involved in any of the pages that are on social media, but they keep bringing her up. Ophelia has not been on any of the social media pages since August of this year, but they keep bringing Ophelia up. And they can call me an idiot all they want. It doesn't matter to me. Because I'm here to tell you that I'll rather be an idiot than a damn liar and be debunked publicly on my own page. I'm gonna debunk you. I don't care if you call me an idiot. You're a damn liar. Ophelia went really early to Harlingen on December 24th of 2020 and spent more than 2 hours at your house, and you're talking about a damn door that had shutters when that door had a key that you could open. And here's a receipt from the post office from that day, and it has a time. Can you all tell me if you can see this timestamp? Can somebody tell me if you can see this timestamp?
Sure. Yes.
Tina, you can see it. Okay. Hi, Sharon. So it takes 24 minutes to get from that post office in Willacy County, Raymondville to Cameron County, Harlingen.
Listen to it.
It takes 24 minutes. So we're going to listen to an audio.
You are totally wrong. And you also said that I have walked out the back door and talked to Frank Marr. Look at your pictures. Your pictures has my back door shutter all the way down. I couldn't have gone through there. Look at your pictures.
Don't forget, in South Texas, shutters don't cover the whole wall. They're individually made for each window or each door. Shutters are individually made so that you can have access to the inside and the outside of your house as long as you have what? Can you all see a key on that door, and that door has all those shutters? Can anybody tell me if they can see this key? Okay, Jenny Flores. Do you have access or a way to open that door if that key is right there and that handle? So, that person that's standing right there by that door is by a window. She's by a window and you can see the outside. Those shutters don't have nothing to do with stopping you from going in and out of. Look at this. Look at the timestamp of that. Look. Can you all see the timestamp? So, is she trying to say that because the shutters were down, she couldn't open the door? Does she think that we're so naive that we don't understand the process of woodworking and aesthetics? How something looks?
And you also said that I have walked out the back door and talked to Frank Marr. Look at your pictures. Your pictures has my back door shutter all the way down.
That shutter being down doesn't stop you from having access to the outside of that door. The key was on the door. That's right, ya, no hay peor ciego que el que no quiere ver. Let's keep hearing this video.
Your number one suspect is not wearing the same thing in the car that she is in my house. So she was.
Didn't she say that she's not accusing anybody of nothing?
Not there yet. She says she's not wearing the same clothes.
And she's saying that Ophelia wasn't the number one suspect, being Ophelia, who she did claim she didn't accuse of anything, is not wearing the same thing, but she is. Nobody in South Texas is stupid enough to be inside a car, then go outside and still keep a jacket on. Look at that shirt. Ophelia has that shirt and it has a hole right there in the middle of her chest. And this gold thing, it's a jacket. When you get in your car, when you get out of your car, you have that jacket on. When you get inside of a central air conditioned house or heated house, you're going to take it off. This is South Texas. It's not going to stay cold that long.
Hey.
Look at the fabric and look at the hole on the chest of Ophelia. Right there. Right there. So why is she saying that Ophelia wasn't wearing the same shirt that we showed right here on the picture? Look at the fabric. And the glasses that Ophelia was wearing, plus the necklace that Ophelia was wearing that day. Now, I will let y'all know that I like yellow a lot. So I have several dresses that are yellow. Look at the timestamp right here. We corrected it so that y'all could see. And what time does it say? It says 12:22 p.m. Isn't Ophelia wearing the same shirt right there? Yeah, she had that plática today and she even called me an idiot.
It's already at home.
And this is at my house, Ophelia at my house. Look at the fabric on the shirt. And look at the hole in the chest. And look at the timestamp. At 1:27 p.m., Ophelia was already at my house. But Ophelia used to go a lot to Harlingen. Again, I'm gonna tell you that Ophelia used to go a lot to hang around with Ophelia Painter, and a lot of times I didn't go. I had other things that I was doing. Look at this shirt right here. Could Ophelia Painter be confused? Because look at the timestamp on this picture. It says December 4th.
No. 8th.
December 8th. Can y'all see the date? On this picture, can you all see the date? I don't know if she's bigger now or not. Okay, so that picture, Ophelia was wearing also a red shirt, but that was a different shirt and it was a different date. And look at the glasses that Ophelia was wearing that day. So, let's not forget that there's some grandmas out there that confuse things. But That's why we're showing you all timestamp pictures. I have always tried not to be so much social as Ophelia was with Ophelia Painter. I a lot of times did not go, but you're not gonna sit there and say, you could see that the shutters were all the way down. You could still open that damn door because for aesthetics, that shutter is just made for the glass part of your damn door, Ophelia. But whatever. Ophelia was at Ophelia Painter's house for more than 2 hours from the time that receipt that we did decide to show on this show from the post office was made to 25 minutes into that receipt. That's how long it took for Ophelia Moreno to get to Ophelia Painter's house. And Ophelia Moreno was at Ophelia Painter's house until after 12. As far as if Ophelia Painter, she was all, yeah, it was almost 1 because you didn't get to my house until afterwards. And as far as Ophelia Painter, she knows she stepped outside of her house for that phone call from Frank Marr. Whether those shutters were all the way down or not, the key was on the door and all she had to do was turn the key and push the knob. You know, and I want to let you all know, I told you all, Wednesday, I don't know, Wednesday I woke up thinking that there was one day more for Thanksgiving. I'm not keeping up with track of time because I stay inside my house a lot. And then I realized what I did, and I did a second TikTok, and I put, let's see how far up my sphinxer these haters are. Well, let's see.
That doesn't fly. And then the other idiot that thought that Wednesday was Thursday and that it was Thanksgiving on Friday. I mean, Thanksgiving on Friday. Yeah, she said today is Happy Thursday, everyone. Today is Thursday and Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Ms. Painter.
And she stands in front of the mirror when she's repeating everything I said on my TikToks.
That Wednesday was Thursday.
Well, you know, Maria Chongos, I don't know about that, but I do know that I do not revolve my life around people that don't have any content of their own, cannot climb out of the canal, and want to stay stuck to a story that happened over, it's going to be 5 years next month. You know, and if I sat there and told everybody that heard my little, however long that video was, it wasn't that long, to, hey, advise your children to be aware of what's going on around them because a kid went to school with a loaded gun. It's never gonna have that plática had nothing to do with anybody here. It was something that happened that somebody told me about it that happened in Texas City this week. And I lived in Texas City for over 20 years. So, do you seriously think that my life is going to revolve around these people? No. And I have already given them 2 or 3 shows this week so that they can have content and they can continue calling me names. But I don't have selective memory loss. Yes, I did do that on Wednesday, and I did do a second TikTok saying, I messed up on the days, and let's see how far up my sphincter these haters are. And sure enough, she stood on the mirror, repeating it over and over and over and over until she got to the show that night or today. But we just want to let you all know that you can't believe everything that everybody says. Sometimes we're doing other things and our minds are in other set places. But my life does not revolve around these people. I have been telling everybody these people are beneath my ankles. I don't have time for their BS. And then when they're going to sit there and straight up lie like that, it doesn't matter how big those shutters are. It doesn't matter. The shutters are made for the size of the window, or the door. And you can still open it with the least amount of effort. And the key was on the door. So she needs to get her story straight, and she needs to get her dates straight, because we just showed you 2 different days that Ofelia Painter and Ofelia Moreno were together that month. And they were together at Ofelia Painter's house. Ofelia Moreno was wearing 2 different type red shirts. It was Christmas. It was December. People are going to wear red, and it's like, if it's cold one day, it doesn't mean that it's going to stay cold all day. Not in South Texas. In South Texas, it can be cold this morning and it'll be hot by noon, or if you get out of your car and walk inside of a building, that building has central air and heat. You're not going to wear that sweater or that jacket on top of whatever you're wearing. You're going to wear the least amount of clothes in South Texas, because we stay hot. The only time it's going to get cold here will be sometime in February. That's when Ted Cruz took that trip in 2020. It was in February, because we were 4 days without any electricity in South Texas. In fact, all of Texas, because they closed down the Texas grid. But as far as her saying that she was not blaming anybody, yes, she did. She just, we gave you an audio where she is saying the number one suspect. What? Now all of a sudden, because she's hanging around with some neighbor of Ofelia Moreno's, Ofelia Moreno has become the number one suspect on a case that's already been closed, shut down, and over?
That thought that Wednesday was Thursday and that it was Thanksgiving on Friday. I mean,
it's the one before that, no?
Yeah, she said today is Happy Thursday, everyone. Today is Thursday.
And I'm supposed to be smoking something good.
I just want that doesn't run.
Before. It was the one before that one.
You are totally wrong. And you also said that I have walked out the back door and talked to Fred Mark. Look at your pictures. Your pictures has my back door shutter all the way down. I couldn't have gone through there. Look at your pictures. Your number one suspect is not wearing the same thing in the car that she is in my house. So she was not there for 2 hours.
She was there for more than 2 hours. And she was wearing a gold sweater over a red shirt because it was the holidays.
Oh, that story, because I was there. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not accusing anybody of having done anything. I just
She's saying she's not.
One suspect is not wearing the same thing in the car that she is in my house. So she was not there for 2 hours. I'm telling you, I know that story because I was there. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not accusing anybody of having done anything.
Well, Mimi, the whole thing here is that they forget that there's a statute of limitations on everything. And usually the statute of limitations is 2 years. These people want to go back all the way back to their first C-section, girl. And they need to get a life. You did say that Ophelia was the number one suspect because we have your voice saying it. And there is a statute of limitations. You know, she did say that Ophelia was the number one suspect, and then she went on to say other things. But what she needs to realize is that any police officer that's worth a grain of salt is gonna tell her the same damn thing that I'm telling her about that damn door shutter. The key's on the door. You can easily open the door and go outside. On a story that was 5 years old. You know, the statute of limitations on all this bullshit is long gone, long over. But they still want to be bringing it up because, of course, everything that they're doing is about the money. But sometimes about the money gets on other people's nerves. No, they want to keep saying stuff because they want to trigger my little sister to try to come on or whatever, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, ladies. You know, but we're back to what happened 5 years ago has long passed the statute of limitations. Whatever happened at Sonic 4.5 years ago has already passed the statute of limitations. Whatever happened when somebody that lives behind Ophelia's house and was told to go and submerge herself 7 times in the Rio Grande and she was videotaping herself and she didn't do it, it didn't happen because she didn't follow instructions. You know, but you're not going to sit there and keep repeating that Ophelia was not wearing the same thing when she was. And you're not going to say that you couldn't have gone outside the door because the shutters were all the way down when you had the key on the door and the shutters are sized to the glass size. So, she wasn't living in the ghetto. She was living in a ritzy part of town and where things were made right. Because that was not originally her house. That was originally Mr. Painter's house. She got it through the marriage or whatever, that's fine. You know, we already know about all that. And we don't care. Well, Mimi, you gotta realize that Kathy owns that page. So Kathy's always gonna try to be the one making the questions or voicing out whatever she wants. Because that's her page. They need to, Maria Chongos, they need to. But I'm going to let y'all go. I wasn't going to be here very long. I just wanted to reiterate that I was saying a story about a child that went to a school with a loaded gun. Yes, but it was a child from Texas City, and the story is on the news. And it did happen, and I still have friends and family in that area. So, you know, I was just advising people that, you know, to warn their kids, to be aware, you know, and if they want to hear my stories and then try to put on a coat and start buttoning it up, that's on them, because all of this is merely coincidental. And Ophelia Painter is a liar. She needs to get a life and she needs to stop lying. Okay? So on that note, bye everybody. Thank you for allowing me into your space, into your... Oh, give me a minute. That's it. Okay. Thank you for allowing me into your, what is today, Thursday night? It is Thursday night, Ophelia Painter. Bye, everybody.